Far away, on a magical island, something extraordinary happens every single day. This isn't an ordinary island. It's a place where imaginary friends are born. Each friend is unique. Some are tall, some are small, some are furry, and others have wings. These friends are created with one purpose: to be imagined by a child. Once a child imagines them, they leave the island and join their human friend in the real world. Beekle was one of these imaginary friends. He was round, white, and cute, with stubby arms and a golden crown perched on his head. Like every other imaginary friend, Beekle dreamed of the day he'd be chosen by a child. He imagined all the wonderful adventures they would have together. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, but Beekle remained on the island. No child chose him. Beekle began to wonder, what if my child never imagines me? A brave decision. Beekle waited and waited, but no one came. While the other imaginary friends left for the real world, Beekle stayed behind. The colorful island, once filled with laughter and excitement, started to feel empty. Beekle felt a deep longing in his heart. He couldn't wait any longer. One night, as the stars twinkled above the magical island, Beekle made a decision. He would no longer wait. If his child wouldn't imagine him, he would go out and find them. It was a brave and unusual choice, but Beekle was determined. Stepping into the real world. The journey was daunting. Beekle had to sail across an endless ocean under a blanket of stars. He felt a mix of fear and excitement. What would the real world be like? Would he find his child? When Beekle finally arrived, the real world was nothing like he had imagined. It was big and bustling. The buildings towered above him like giants. People hurried past him without even noticing he was there. Everything felt gray and unfamiliar. Beekle had always imagined the real world as colorful and joyful, filled with children playing and laughing. Instead, he found himself in a noisy, busy city where no one seemed to notice an unimaginary friend like him. For the first time, Beekle felt small and out of place, searching for his friend. Despite his doubts, Beekle refused to give up. He wandered through the city, searching for a sign, a clue, anything that would lead him to his child. He climbed trees, peeked through windows, and even rode on the back of a giant dog. The city was full of surprises, but none of them led him to his child. As the days passed, Beekle began to lose hope. The real world was so big, and he was just one small imaginary friend. How would he ever find his place in it? Connection made. One day, Beekle found himself in a park. The trees swayed gently in the wind, and children played on swings and slides. Beekle sat under a tree, feeling lonelier than ever. That's when he noticed her. A little girl was sitting alone, drawing in her notebook. She had dark hair and big, curious eyes. Something about her felt different. Beekle's heart raced. Could she be the one? Gathering all his courage, Beekle approached her. He didn't know what to say or how to make her notice him, but as he stood there, the girl looked up and saw him. For a moment, they both just stared at each other. Then, she smiled. The start of a friendship. The girl introduced herself as Alice. She didn't seem surprised to see Beekle. In fact, it felt as though she had been waiting for him all along. Alice picked up her notebook and showed Beekle the drawings she had made. To his surprise, there he was, right on the page, wearing his golden crown. She had been imagining him all along. Beekle felt a surge of joy. Finally, he had found his friend. And Alice felt the same way. She had always wanted someone who understood her. Someone who would go on adventures with her. Someone who would be her best friend. Beekle was that someone. Adventures together. From that moment on, Beekle and Alice were inseparable. They shared secrets, told stories, and created their own little world filled with laughter and wonder. Alice introduced Beekle to her favorite places, like the library and the ice cream shop. Together, they explored the city in a way neither of them could have imagined alone. Beekle helped Alice find courage when she felt shy or scared. He reminded her that she was special and that she could do anything. In return, Alice helped Beekle feel like he truly belonged. For the first time, Beekle felt the joy of being loved and accepted. What Beekle learned. As the days turned into weeks, Beekle realized something important. It wasn't just about being chosen, it was about finding the right person. The connection he shared with Alice was what made their friendship magical. They didn't need words to understand each other. They just knew. Beekle also learned that sometimes you have to take risks to find what you're looking for. Leaving the island had been scary, but it had led him to Alice. It reminded him that bravery and determination could lead to the most wonderful adventures. A story about belonging. The Adventures of Beekle. The Unimaginary Friend is more than just a story about an imaginary friend. It's a tale about friendship, courage, and the universal longing to find a place where you belong. Dan Santat's illustrations bring the story to life with vibrant colors and whimsical details. Each page feels like a dream, capturing both the magic of Beekle's world and the wonder of discovering a true friend. Children and adults alike can relate to Beekle's journey. We've all felt lonely or out of place at some point in our lives. Beekle's story reminds us that even when things seem uncertain, there's always hope. Somewhere out there, someone is waiting for us, just as we are waiting for them. Why Beekle's story matters. Beekle's adventure teaches us that the most meaningful connections don't always happen right away. Sometimes we have to wait, and sometimes we have to take a leap of faith. But when we find those connections, they change our lives in ways we could never imagine. For children, the story is a celebration of imagination and the power of believing in something bigger than themselves. For adults, it's a gentle reminder of the friendships that shape us and the courage it takes to step out of our comfort zones. A timeless tale. At its heart, The Adventures of Beekle. The Unimaginary Friend is a story about love and belonging. It's about finding the one person who sees you for who you are and values you just as much as you value them. It's a reminder that we are all looking for connection, and when we find it, it's truly magical. Dan Santat's masterpiece will continue to inspire readers for generations to come. Whether you're a child discovering the joy of friendship for the first time or an adult remembering the importance of imagination, Beekle's story is one that will stay with you forever. Stay tuned for more enlightening content. Head over to www.mybooksummary.com. Don't forget to subscribe and share the magic with friends. And let's grow together through the power of books and interesting stories.